Have you ever had that feeling? That creeping, crawling sensation on the back of your neck when... You're alone in a dark room? The unshakable certainty that someone, or something, is standing just behind you, breathing softly in the silence? We tell ourselves it's just our imagination. A trick of the light. The house settling. We cling to rational explanations like a life raft in a sea of darkness. But what if the darkness is watching back? The internet is a vast, uncharted ocean. Most of us sail on the surface, in the sunlight of social feeds and viral videos. But if you dive too deep, if you venture into the uncharted depths where the light doesn't reach, you might stumble upon things that were never meant to be seen. Fragments of reality that don't fit. Glitches in the world we think we know. Videos that defy explanation and shatter our sense of safety. Tonight, we are not sailing on the surface. We are diving into the abyss. We have scoured the darkest corners of the web to bring you 5 clips so terrifying, so profoundly unsettling, that most who find them immediately wish they could unsee them. These are not Hollywood effects. This is what some claim is genuine, unexplained horror, captured on camera and left to fester online. Viewer discretion is not just advised, it is essential. What you are about to witness may change how you see the world around you. Forever. Are you ready? Let's begin. Our first fragment comes from what should be the most mundane of places, a suburban home. The timestamp reads 3:14 a.m. The living room is still, illuminated only by the pale blue glow of a baby monitor camera. Everything is quiet. Peaceful. Then, a soft click is heard from the hallway. The door to the child's room, which was firmly shut, is now ever so slightly ajar. A shadow, too tall and too thin to be their parent, stretches across the hallway floor and pauses. It doesn't move like a person. It unfolds. For 17 agonizing seconds, it stands there, a silent sentinel of darkness facing the nursery door. Then, the baby monitor emits a frequency that makes your teeth ache, a high-pitched whine that shouldn't be possible for the device to produce. The shadow cocks its head, as if listening to a sound from our world, or responding to one from its own. And then, it's gone. The door remains open. The question burns, what was its intention? Was it stopped by that sound? Or was it simply done? We journey next from the domestic to the ancient. This footage was sent by a hiker in the remote Pacific Northwest, who claimed he was following what he thought was a bear trail. The forest here is dense, a cathedral of towering pines that blot out the sun. The camera is shaky, the breathing heavy. He's lost. He pans across a moss-covered clearing, and that's when he sees it. Not a bear. Not a man. A figure, partially obscured behind a giant cedar tree. Its skin appears almost bark-like, gnarled and textured. Its limbs are elongated, joints bending in ways that seem painfully wrong. But the most horrifying detail is its face, or lack thereof. Where features should be, there is only a smooth, dark hollow, with 2 faint pinpricks of light deep within. It doesn't move. It doesn't charge. It simply observes. The hiker's breath catches. He slowly, so slowly, begins to back away. The moment he takes his first step back, the creature's head tilts with a sound like cracking wood. The hiker runs, the camera jostling violently, the only sound his frantic pants and the crashing of undergrowth. He never looks back. Hello friends. The scares aren't over yet. Like this video to feed the fear, and subscribe so the next horror hunts you down when you least expect it. For he turned to run, visible only when paused and zoomed, was the creature now standing at the edge of the clearing where he had just been, its head still tilted. It hadn't chased him. It had relocated. Instantly. What are the rules of its existence? Not all terrors lurk in the wilderness. Some are born in the places we abandon. This next piece of found footage was allegedly recovered from a closed-down psychiatric hospital. It shows a long, tiled hallway, lit by a single flickering bulb. A group of urban explorers moves cautiously, their whispers echoing. They are joking, trying to lighten the mood. They enter a treatment room. Old leather straps hang from a rusted table. One explorer, a woman named Lisa, according to their chatter, feels a sudden chill. Her breath fogs in the air. She points her camera at a corner where the shadows seem unnaturally deep, almost solid. "Hello?" she whispers. In response, a whisper comes back, but it's not an echo. It's a different voice, dry and rasping, layered under her own, repeating her word. "Hello?" The group falls dead silent. The camera whips around to the others, their faces frozen in fear. They all heard it. Then, from the hallway, comes a clear, dragging sound. Scrape, thump. Scrape, thump. Like something heavy being pulled. The camera swings to the open doorway, just in time to see a shadowy mass, shapeless and vast, blot out the light from the hall as it passes. The footage cuts abruptly to static. The uploader states the SD card was found in the hospital's parking lot, wiped clean except for this one file. Lisa and her friends were never seen again. Our fourth entry proves the horror can reach us through the very screens we think connect us. It begins as a normal video call. A man is talking to his girlfriend, who is house-sitting for her parents in the countryside. They're laughing. Suddenly, her feed freezes. Not a normal lag. The image distorts, her face pixelating into a grotesque, screaming mosaic. A low, digital growl emanates from her speakers. His feed is fine. He screams her name. Just as suddenly, her video returns to normal. But she is not the same. She is perfectly still, her expression blank, her eyes fixed on something behind her own camera. "I have to go," she says flatly, her voice devoid of all emotion. "It says it's my turn to hide." The call ends. The boyfriend drove there immediately. He found the house empty. All the doors were locked from the inside. Her phone was on the kitchen table. And on the screen, pulled up and paused, was the last piece of footage, a view from her laptop's webcam, showing her own back as she sat talking to him. And in the dark hallway reflection on the blank TV screen behind her, the distinct, grinning outline of something clinging to the ceiling, watching her the entire time. We have saved the most conceptually terrifying for last. This clip has no monsters, no ghosts, no clear threat. It is simply a 3-minute video of a man sitting in his own living room, taken by himself on a tripod. He explains calmly to the camera that for the last week, he has experienced recurring dreams of this exact moment. In the dream, he says, a specific event will occur at the 2-minute mark that proves reality is not fixed. He checks his watch. He waits. The clock on the wall ticks. The room is ordinary. At exactly 2 minutes, his cat walks into the frame, just as he said it would. He smiles, a sad, weary smile. "Right on time," he says. He then reaches out and picks up a red pen from the coffee table. Motion detected. Sarah opened the live feed, expecting to see her 6-month-old daughter stirring. Instead, the crib was still, the baby sound asleep under her blanket. But in the corner of the room, near the rocking chair that once belonged to Sarah's grandmother, a faint outline began to form. At first, it looked like a glitch, a smudge on the lens. But as seconds ticked by, the shape sharpened into a tall, translucent figure. It was humanoid, dressed in what appeared to be an old-fashioned nightgown, long hair cascading down its back. The entity hovered, motionless at first, then slowly glided toward the crib. Sarah's heart pounded as she watched, frozen in her bedroom downstairs. The figure leaned over the crib, its head tilting as if peering at the child. A cold chill ran through Sarah even through the screen. Then, impossibly, the baby stirred, letting out a soft coo, not a cry, but almost like a response. The apparition reached out a hazy hand, fingers extending toward the infant. That's when Sarah screamed, bolting upstairs. By the time she burst into the nursery, the room was empty, the baby peacefully asleep. But the camera had captured it all. The video went viral on TikTok, amassing millions of views. Experts analyzed it frame by frame. No strings, no edits, no reflections. Some say it's the spirit of Sarah's grandmother, watching over the family. Others claim it's something darker, drawn to the innocence of a child. Sarah moved out weeks later, but the clip remains online, a haunting reminder that some guardians from the beyond might not be benevolent. If you've ever felt watched in your own home, this one will make you double-check your cameras tonight. Moving to number 4, the poltergeist convenience store. Security footage from a 24-hour convenience store in rural Texas captured what many are calling the most violent poltergeist activity of the year. The store owner, Mike, had been dealing with minor disturbances for months, items falling off shelves, lights flickering, unexplained cold spots. He chalked it up to faulty wiring or prankster teens. But in April 2025, the CCTV system recorded something that shattered his skepticism. It was just after midnight, the store empty except for the lone clerk restocking shelves. The cameras show everything normal at first, fluorescent lights buzzing, aisles quiet. Then, without warning, a can of soda launches from a display, rocketing across the room like it was thrown by an invisible hand. The clerk jumps, looking around confused. Moments later, an entire rack of chips topples over, bags exploding open and scattering across the floor. But the real terror escalates. Bottles from the cooler fly out one by one, shattering against the counter. The clerk ducks behind the register, shouting for help. Then, the most chilling part, a shadowy mass forms near the energy drinks, swirling like smoke. It grows, taking on a vague human shape before charging toward the camera. Glass shatters everywhere, shelves collapsing, products hurling through the air in a chaotic storm. The clerk flees out the back door, leaving the store in ruins. When police arrived, they found no signs of forced entry, no burglars, nothing stolen. The footage was leaked online, sparking debates across paranormal forums. Was it a restless spirit angry at the modern world invading its territory? Or a poltergeist fueled by the clerk's own stress? Mike closed the store permanently, saying he felt an oppressive presence every time he entered. This clip isn't just scary, it's destructive proof that some entities don't just haunt, they attack.